in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Oh, it feels so good to be back. It feels so good to see your guys' faces. I am happy to be here. We have a fantastic podcast for everyone today. We're talking Superman, Tron, Best of, Cobra, all the fun things of Stallone versus Schwarzenegger. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss it.
The Shadow Crew Podcast.
I could never tell what country he was from in that movie. Blood Sport, where he like looks at the camp.
Little Irish dude walking around doesn't sound like that's going to go too well.
Volume 2, that's the best spaceships of all time.
He-Man's powers.
It does come with its own castle.
And he dies in the first episode.
Oh no, sir. He's in the entire film. Sit back, get your popcorn, and enjoy your note-taking on that epic film.
Well,
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, for some big-time special effects. Hey, everyone.
Well, how you guys doing? I missed
Thanks
you
for
guys.
joining. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
good. It's good.
Wait. That's towards the end. Sorry, I'm reading a
Yeah.
script. Jumped ahead too far. Hey, welcome to the Shadow Crew Podcast. And this is episode number 29 here, multi-streaming, 7 p.m. Pacific time, Shadow Knows Network. I'm excited because I think this is going to be the toughest elimination bracket.
oh yeah.
2 legendary action star icons head to head. Last week, if you didn't tune in, Van Damme versus Seagal. Who won? Maybe not as legendary as these two, but it was quite the challenge for us. But we narrowed it down to one film, and tonight we will do the same. Any predictions before we jump into the news?
Ooh, I have my predictions.
You know what? I'm thinking maybe Stallone. Just because I believe he has an Oscar. That's the only reason why I say maybe Stallone.
Nope.
You think it's me? You think it's gonna be the governor?
That's correct. But we'll see.
Okay.
It's going to be tough. That's why we do it. That's why we do it. For those of you who are listening or watching live, we have dropped the bracket where you can play along with us, and or you may have already taken the time to do it to see what your number one film was. Who won? Arnold versus Stallone. And for those of you who will watch this later, curious to see how you finish and whether or not you are in alignment with the Shadow Crew podcast. But I'm super excited to get into things. So first up, though, in the world of news, pop culture, film, toys, please, again, like and subscribe. We want to get to 150 subscriptions.
150 people.
Free.
150.
It's free. It's free on YouTube. We are climbing. And we are guaranteeing, ladies and gentlemen, when we get to 150, we are going to do a special giveaway to one subscriber. So all it takes is a click of a button, right, Chet? Super easy.
That's it. It's super easy. And we turned off payments, so it's free for the month of March and April. So you literally just have to, take your hand and just move it towards the subscribe button and tap that. Yeah, no charge. No charge.
That's mighty
right,
kind
well,
of you,
jump-
Mr. Maddox.
I'm actually I'm covering all the costs of all the subscriptions. So
You know what? I think we should just make subscriptions free for the remainder of the year. Let's just do it.
So.
Let's just rip the
Let's
Band-Aid off.
all
Free
right.
Just click the button. And you
Are
know
we
what?
charging
Free
for like
likes
thumbs
too.
up? Oh yeah, free
Nope.
likes. Well, let's just
Free
do it all free.
likes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I say hurry while supplies last.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's just jump into news. The some of the bigger news. A kind of quiet week in the world of entertainment, but James Gunn again always seems to be in the news, and this time Superman Legacy is now called Superman. And
Oh my God.
a brief reveal of the costume, just a small glimpse of what it could look like. Are you
No.
excited? You hyped?
No,
What's
I'm
going
not.
on here?
I'm not excited. I did a video over on my channel earlier today about this. I'm not I mean, it just screams no confidence, right? Like you're coming in hot after successfully destroying the whole DCU right before you took over. You got rid of Henry Cavill for the Wish version of Henry Cavill. And then the Superman logo just looks like someone got lazy and they were playing around on like a etch a sketch or something. They're like, well, we know there's a diamond shape to it. So what if we put 3 long triangles? How about we do 2 long triangles to make an S?
Yeah. And you know
Chris just went green.
I know he did. That's strange. Like there's always a technical difficulty with
Yeah,
live, isn't it?
this is live and technical. He might have to.
Can you hear
come
me?
off.
Can you at least hear me?
We can at least hear you.
We can hear you.
You know what? I might have gone into another dimension. This might be this is the
Phantom
DC
Zone.
multiverse.
Oh yeah, this is Aquaman attacking the fungi.
I see Aquaman. Okay, and now I'm in the multiverse now. Oh, it does. Yeah, I'm back.
There you go. There you go.
You were in Hulk's underpants.
You don't want to know what the box office is for Superman. I got a glimpse of it. I went into. I'll share that at another time. But yeah, not great.
Thank you, man. Damn it, pretty funny, man.
But
Hey.
anyways, before I got distracted, yeah, I don't. I think that he. I think it's not a good sign. I'll just say that.
Well, you know what? I'll say the secondary to you with Chet. I thought like it shows indecisiveness when you change the name right as you're shooting it. Very rarely have you heard that. Normally, it's kind of the name set before you go to even get the actors in. So
Yeah.
you know, James Gunn's always been a little bit indecisive. You know, you can say what you want to say about his Guardians of the Galaxy, but the Superman story that he did that wasn't called Superman really wasn't that interesting. I'm a tad bit worried. You keep hearing actresses in the trades that are kind of like, you know, saying certain other situations and things. And I'm like, you know, first of all, one, I think studios need to get a little bit of rein in to the actors because you have a potential chance to destroy a movie before anyone's ever seen it by saying the wrong thing. Leave that to the promo departments. That's what they get paid for.
Yeah.
Let them actually promote the film, because the problem of it is that they only want to see you promote when you're walking red carpet. And so far, you know, we want to see movies succeed. You know, when Superman succeeds, the industry does well, comic books shops do well, toy stores do well. You know, everybody wants to see a good product. But unfortunately, I think people have been inserting their own vision instead of the thing that's going to make the most money for the studio. You know, it's not about your vision. It's about, are you going to get the money back that the studio's dropped into this? And I don't know if James Gunn's going to do it. I hope he does, but I'm a tad bit worried about it.
Yeah, I got to say this. How many people on the creative and the marketing team did it take for them to say, I've got an amazing title for this film, Superman? Like, how much payroll to say, let's drop Legacy and go with Superman? Like, I really want to know, like, who made that decision? Because I want to get that paycheck. Like, that seems like the easiest paycheck in Hollywood. Hey, we're going to go Superman.
Well, what's the movie about? Superman.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So I feel like the name change just screams, check out this awesome origin story again. PC version of what I was gonna say.
But he said that they it's not going to be the origin. It's supposed to be jumping right directly into it. It's supposed to be directly right into it, and we'll see what it is because they have so many different cast members and so many different characters you're jumping in. I don't know if you can do an origin story, or if you're going to do one, it's got to be condensed into like 5 minutes because you can't have 15, 16 different characters show up and then try to tell like the first half of the movie is origin and then Superman and then eventually fight the villain. Or unless it's going to be Superman Part 1, Superman Part 2, that's about the only way that I think you can do it, and it has to be broken down in 4 hours because 2 hours is not gonna do that.
Well,
No.
honestly, I think they're just trying to do, it's like, well, with Superman Legacy, that sounds like it may be part of something else or whatever. Start with a clean slate, Superman. And then, but they're not doing that with Batman so far, or any of the other ones they've announced. But they might.
Yeah, and I saw Clint's comment on the screen. If we started doing that every time somebody's opinion got wrong, we wouldn't make it through an entire cast drinking. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, we'd be done in like the first.
We used to do that live
Yeah.
when we weren't recording, and within 45 minutes we were all passed out, blacked out, drunk. Speaking of other films in the world of entertainment, is Tron Ares, another Tron movie with Jared Leto and a couple of other folks. I love like Tron, like that universe, but lately anything that Jared Leto touches has not been
turns to trash.
It hasn't been that great. So
yeah, like
what's your take on this?
I think he needs to go back to singing.
Oh.
I think that this Tron film, like if you zoom in really quick, like closely onto the thing he's holding, it's got the name of Dillinger. It's got Dillinger on there. So there's this whole thing of like who's actually coming back, because obviously the original died. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really a fan of Tron Legacy. It was cool because I love Tron. Tron is probably one of my all-time favorite movies. However, Tron Legacy was kind of meh. And so, I don't know.
Well, see, we start that drinking game because I believe your opinion's wrong. I thought Legacy was the special effects were great. Yeah, maybe the story was a little lapsed, but the first movie story was a little lapsed.
No, not first time.
I don't think they've gotten anything good about the whole thing of Tron exactly right. I was a little disappointed though because I thought the visualization, I thought it was interesting. I don't think you can bring Jeff Bridges back, but also it's the last time that we will actually see Daft Punk on the screen together since they've broken up, or have they gotten back together for the new Tron?
I mean, if there's money involved, anyone gets back together.
That was the coolest part of the film, was the soundtrack.
It was a great soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack was awesome. I went and saw it. I think, Chris, did I see it with you in LA? Did we go see that?
I don't remember. I could watch that movie blindfold, just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
See, you should watch it blindfolded. Though, was kind of boring, I thought. Now the visuals were pretty cool, and the same thing with Legacy. It's like the visuals are pretty cool, and they upped the action and everything, but still not that great a story. And then it seemed like it was very rushed at the end when everything was happening, and then they finally, oh yeah, it's called Tron, right? We better put him in there. So I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to it. Maybe they'll get it right. I always thought that first one was really stupid because of digitizing Jeff Bridges. You can't do that today, much less in 1982. So,
Yeah, I did think the 3D on the beginning, where you see Jeff Bridges in the beginning of the movie for Legacy, wasn't their best, de-aging. It looked a little better throughout the rest of the movie, but the first part of that didn't work too well. But it was a little bit interesting taking the original concept, trying to update it, especially after that was 25 years or so, or however long that was when we saw Legacy. And then also the aspect that changes is that this was a very long time to get another sequel to be done. So I don't know if whatever audience you might have had through Legacy that built up, chances are it might be hard to get them in the theater now because it's just too much time has gone by.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're bringing back Cillian Murphy from Legacy, who was like Dillinger Jr.
I don't know.
Oppenheimer's not coming back for Tron.
I think there's talk about it, but
the only thing that good could come from it would be some cool line of toys. But
by Super 7.
I loved the game,
For
the video game,
$95.
and the toys were cool as hell.
Oh, the
Yes,
video
But
game.
you
It's
know,
one of the best arcades of all time.
You're talking about the actual arcade, right?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
stick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yes.
light up
Yeah.
stick. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
sir.
That will always be an all-time favorite.
Although I will say though, Legacy did bring out. There was a guy I remember out here in Southern California that had went to the theater and he had like an all light suit that showed up and he got kicked out of the theater. It was like a big thing all over the news, and he had like Tron. I'm like, man, you know, there's diehard fans. That's what I love about going to like films like you'll see like a Jedi, you'll see like, you know, somebody from Lord of the Rings, you know, you'll see the Tron dude. There's always somebody that has that little obsession that goes to the theater. And he like no one could enjoy the movie because he's like got neon lights all over himself.
Well, the problem is he wears that outfit every movie he sees. That's the issue. Must be in front of Man's Chinese Theater. That's for sure.
No, I think it was
Well-
like Glendale or something. It was some strange
Oh, really?
theater, man. Yeah.
If he
yeah,
showed
it
up on a
wasn't-
light
wasn't bad.
cycle, then I give him full credit. It's like the dude that dressed like Wolverine, who's got the Wolverine bike. You remember that guy?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
authentic
Dude.
Wolverine cosplay guy.
There's one year at Comic-Con,
No, I remember.
Hugh Jackman walked around as Wolverine, and someone walked by him and was like, "Hey man, you got to try harder." And so
Yeah.
when he came up to do like the panel,
Uh,
he was like, "I was walking around as Wolverine, and some dude told me I needed to try harder."
and then I think also at San Diego Comic Con, because we got thousands of stories of that. There was,
Uh,
I think Chris and Julian, we were there at that time, and you remember the guy that was the plumber that actually had cut his hair to the Wolverine
Yeah.
thing, just walking around with no shirt. And it was like, well, what do you do for a living? He was like, oh, I'm a plumber. And you keep that hairstyle all the time? He goes, oh yeah. And I was like, that guy's dedicated, brother.
well, wasn't it like Weapon X Plumbing or something like that? Like just awesome, man.
He's like the only thing he can cut through is he can't cut through his adamantium pipes. That's something about it.
Oh man.
Awesome. I think it is time why you all probably tuned in, and that is the best of series Arnold versus Stallone.
Glad you could drop in.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself.
You're gonna regret this the rest of your life.
Both seconds of it. You son of a bitch.
I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That
If you drop your gun now, I promise I won't kill you.
Have you been sick? You lost weight?
Really? Whatever weight I lost, you found, pal.
Let's get down to business.
Boy,
Sums it up.
Charging us. Our editor's going to charge us for that one.
Wow. I get me hyped. Some like classic lines from both of those action heroes. Let's first off set the rules. There was tons of Arnold and Stallone films. How we decided the 16 of each films, you had to be first an action or a drama film. So comedies were out. Most of the comedies that Arnold and Stallone did were not great. There's some exceptions. But let's be honest, it was action, drama. And the other thing was, if they were in movies together, we did not put them in. So as an example, Expendables 2, they were in. And then what's the movie that they were both in? They were in like Escape Plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not do that because it's not fair. They're both in the same film. And last but not least, every film on this list has gotten a Rotten Tomatoes score of about 28 to 30% high, with the exception being Cobra, and that is a request from, I don't know, take a wild guess on who wanted Cobra.
Yeah, who would do the Cobra? Who wanted Cobra?
I don't know.
Okay,
I love Cobaretti.
Yeah. By the way, I Am the Law is just
well,
terrible.
Yeah.
And that's I think one of the films that made it like the worst comic book adaptations in our last. Yeah, I agree. Arnold wins comedy hands down. I mean,
Clint.
100 Twins, Jingle All the Way.
I don't think
just
Stallone has one good comedy at
Judge
all.
Dredd. Okay, so again, it's a elimination bracket, 16 each. First side of the bracket is Stallone versus Arnold in each round to declare one film against the other side of the bracket, and we will inevitably declare the winner who had the best film. And then also organically, we'll be able to see of the top 16 and the 8 and the final 4, was it mostly Stallone? What is mostly Arnold? Please like, subscribe, comment. We let you to play along. We got the bracket in the channel. So without further ado, let it get started. So let me pull it up. And our first round is...
Hey, also, Chris, did we let them know that they could actually download that themselves?
Yeah, you could play like what we're doing here on the screen. We're clicking. You could click as well. So like you could literally follow along. We may click the Terminator or Rocky 3. You can click and you can kind of see and play it along. You could play it at a later time. You could share this bracket out as well. It is all online on Bracket Fights. Okay, first round. The Terminator versus Rocky 3.
Oh, well. Jeez. You did start it off. And then Mr. T is in Rocky 3. Man, my God.
Hulk Hogan.
Rocky 3 was the first Rocky I saw in a theater.
Did anyone else try to figure? Did anyone try to figure out how his face started looking better every Rocky movie versus worse since he's getting punched?
Because he was poor when he first started that one, and he got rich, and rich guys look good. So there's a difference.
If this was Terminator 2 versus Rocky 3, I would have my pick, but it's not. So I'm gonna go with Rocky 3.
Yeah, I think Rocky 3.
Really?
Whoa! Yeah. The Terminator is a way better film.
Man. As much as I
Rocky
love
3,
Mr. T, come on, man.
This is the first one though where
Terminator,
the first two Rockies were realistic boxing dramas. Yeah. This is where it went into sort of the superhero realm, and all the hits were like gigantic punches, and they made it more of an audience pleaser. And I love the Terminator, don't get me wrong, but I think Chet is right. If it was T2 versus Rocky 3, T2 wins hands down. But I think Rocky 3 takes this.
Yeah, and I'm saying this knowing good and well that my aunt does on Schwarzenegger's taxes. So I'm still giving it to Rocky 3. I'm still giving it to Rocky 3.
Look, this started one of the most legendary concepts and franchises of all time. Arnold played this killing machine perfectly. It's going to be a tie unless Mr. Storm, you're thinking Rocky 3.
I am not thinking Rocky 3 as much as I love Mr. T, and I know that probably sends me to the 5th category of hell for not voting for him. I've got to go with Terminator. It's just a more iconic film. It's James Cameron knocked it out of the box. I just, it's a tough one because I love Rocky, but Terminator wins this one.
And look, we're in a tie. So as in previous brackets, the first thing we go to is Rotten Tomatoes score audience.
Gonna have to.
And
I bet Terminator's gonna win.
Terminator's got 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, then,
are you kidding me?
Yes.
It's got 100%.
100%.
Well, there's nothing else left to say.
It's not close. It is such a great sci-fi action film. Rocky 3 is great. I told you this was going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
There's a few like bombs that they've made, but I think a lot of them are good quality. So unfortunately, Rotten Tomatoes overruled. Terminator advances. The next up, Raw Deal versus Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Damn.
Look how juiced up Arnold was, dude. Look at that. Like they're like, just flex and hold the gun and we'll put it on the poster.
Raw Deal was kind of a cheap one though.
It
it seemed like they was like, hey, we got about $2 million. What can we shoot? I don't know. Let's just do something in the swamp or something,
I'm thinking also, didn't Rennie Harlan direct Cliffhanger as well?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. And I did see that in the
John
theater.
Lithgow was the villain.
Cliffhanger was good. It was a good film. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I watch if it's on, I usually watch it.
Yeah, I've seen like Raw Deal like 2 or 3 times total.
Yeah.
I think it's it was a decent movie to watch, but it's not on the rewatchable list. Cliffhanger, I would have to say, yeah, that's my choice.
Chet.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Your aunt does his taxes.
Wrong guy. Other muscle. Also, Cliffhanger got made fun of in Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura too.
They did.
Rocky Balboa.
Oh, I got
this is easy
action hero.
This is easy one. Yeah, this is easy one.
What do you mean easy?
You don't even need to do the Rotten Tomato score for Last Action Hero. I think it came in at -10.
It actually was like it had so much hype that
yes, it did.
Like, but if you watch it, it's not horrible. It was just like people were.
I went opening day.
Whoa.
Well, I'm sure you were super excited. Yeah,
I was until I started watching the movie.
I remember I went and saw this opening day with my dad. It sounds like all of you guys were going to say Rocky Balboa.
Oh no, Rocky Balboa has a fantastic. There's a scene between him and the son. That's like, wow, man. It's like a motivational speech they put on all over the internet and everything else. Like and I remember it was Dr. Brentley, myself, and our friend that likes to throw things at TV screen. And we went to I can't remember which theater, but we didn't expect Rocky Balboa to be that good. And like by the time people were cheering through the audience and high-fiving one another, it was a great movie, man. I will give him credit. I did not expect that after he had done 5 to turn out that well. So he really did renaissance the whole Rocky Balboa thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's clear. Rocky Balboa advances. Eraser versus Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Hands down. Greatest opening line of any movie and everything. Do we get the win? Stallone, Rambo 2. Watch it all the damn time, brother.
Yep, Rambo 2. Even though, of course, the company I worked for did the trailer for Eraser. But, yeah.
I mean, is there a Rambo movie that Chet won't move forward with that? He's got a headband, so it's basically a win almost every round.
I combined both of them. I Cobra and Rambo.
I mean, he's holding a missile launcher like that. Poster in itself wins.
He walks into a crowded computer room and fires off a machine gun. That's like some stuff you only see at the post office now.
Whoa. FedEx 2.
Okay, yeah, FedEx 2. But no, it's Rocky. It's Rambo 2, man.
Predator versus
come on.
Predator.
Come on.
Predator.
Yeah, all right, the first round, it might be a little easy. Yeah, I get it.
So far.
Collateral Damage versus First Blood, the first Rambo movie.
Yeah.
First Rambo.
First Rambo film.
Blood.
Yep.
Again,
this was from the director of The Fugitive.
Look at that poster.
Yeah, it is epic.
We did the Collateral Damage trailer as well.
Of course you did.
All right, next up, The Running Man versus Tango and Cash.
Ooh.
I love The Running Man. I know
I do.
I love
a great
The Running
film.
Man. Yeah,
I know
I
it's not great, but it's cheesy.
I think it's
good.
better than Tango and Cash.
Oh yeah, Tango
and Cash I saw in a theater, and again, I love those two guys, but man, was I disappointed. It was like, oh, the comedy's not really that funny, and
I technically didn't get disappointed because it was typically Kurt Russell kind of like film that Sylvester Stallone was in. And so, I wasn't disappointed by it. It made sense because Kurt Russell dangles that line between comedy and not. But no, it's obviously The Running Man.
Who decided, like, let's put glasses on Stallone just to change it up? And they put like the weirdest glasses, like
Oh, remember he
didn't
was
need
supposed to
it.
be a smart kind of
Yeah,
like
but I
officer,
couldn't like I
you
watched
know?
the film and I'm just like that it just took away from everything because it was just like a forced character.
Yeah. It's like he's
putting
not
the-
reading anything. Come
No,
on.
come on. All right, Running Man advances. Commando versus Creed. Now I'll watch Commando all day long too, and that's it's not great, but
Jeez.
Commando's
Dude, when you're all stuck by yourself in a shed and all you can do is throw saw blades at people, you got to throw saw blades at people.
Mhm.
You know,
Even though Commando, I thought Creed was like just another great continuation of the Rocky film, and I was shocked when they made it. I think it's significantly better than the Creed 3.
Yeah, Creed 3 was
But
bad.
I think it's up there. I got to say Creed, man.
I got to go with Commando. Let off some
geez.
steam.
I'm on Commando's side.
So here's where we get caught up, and we talked about this pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Creed overall is probably, if you the Academy, the acting is a much better film. But the Shadow Crew podcast cares about entertainment and action, and I'm gonna go to Commando because if Creed's on the TV, I don't think I'm watching it. But if I stumble across Commando, I'm tuning in. So the bad guy in that's the same bad guy from Mad Max, I think, if I recall, or Mad Max 2. I forget, Mad Max 1 or 2. I'm going Commando. So I know we might get some hate here. Like, are you kidding me? But come on, man. Perfect, cheesy, Arnold,
hands down,
spectacular.
Creed is good. It's a good movie, but Commando I will watch all day long.
All right, Commando beats Creed. Now we are on to the next round. Terminator versus Cliffhanger.
Terminator. Yeah.
Yep, Terminator. Chet?
Terminator. Terminator.
Rocky Balboa versus First Blood Part 2.
Stallone versus Stallone on this one.
This is First Blood for me. Part 2.
Rambo. First Blood.
I think so. It's part 2 exactly.
Same. Predator versus First Blood.
Oh God,
this is a tough one.
This is a freaking tough one.
This is the bullshit.
Knocking out like Stallone's best movie, probably.
Here's the thing: is I liked Part 2, Rambo Part 2, better than First Blood, and Predator is an all-time classic for me. One of my top 10. Predator advances for me.
The only way that it would be better is if John Rambo was actually in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He could be.
I'd love to see that matchup because I think they would have took the Predator down very easily, and I also think that John Rambo would have built better traps than Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, but unfortunately, it's Predator. I think we're knocking out Stallone's best movie, though.
Yeah, because First Blood is a great movie, great character drama, and he's got one of the best monologues of his career at the end of that movie. Gives me chills every time, but I will watch Predator over it in a second.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on, I'm getting a text right here. Stallone said he's never coming on the show. What are you guys doing to us? Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, Predator. It's got to be Schwarzenegger's Predator.
Wow. Predator takes down.
It's just Predator is just a movie I won't turn off, but First Blood I'll walk away.
All right. The Running Man versus Commando.
God, Stallone versus Stallone. Boy, this is starting to get a little bit harrowing. I say probably Commando. I like The Running Man, but I think Commando's just a better action movie.
Yeah, it's a better action movie. The only thing Running Man has is the host of Family Feud.
Yes. The concept was really good, though. I really love like the movie's idea, and that's super entertaining. But Predator too.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
hey! Don't slap the viewers down. The man knows quality work and everything. He knows Glover's in that movie. Come on, brother. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Commando here as well.
I'm on the Commando side on this.
Commando.
Yeah.
John Matrix.
We need you.
Ooh.
I told you every time.
Jeez.
Terminator
killing
versus
it.
First Blood Part
Nope.
2.
This
You
is gonna
guys
be
are-
Rambo on my
Yeah.
end.
Oh my God, you're killing it.
No, this is
I think I gotta go Rambo as well.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a better movie.
it's tough, but again, if it was T2, we would have
Oh,
an
no,
argument. But Rambo beats the first Terminator, I think, just
I
because it
agree.
was so low budget. They
Even-
couldn't do the things they wanted to do.
Even still, I love Rambo too, but I can't trump Terminator. So I know I'm gonna lose this one, but I gotta go with Terminator. And also Meeks probably is going with Rambo. So I definitely know I'm losing this one.
I know I should say Terminator because if I don't, the actual AI, artificial intelligence, is coming for us first. But it's Rambo. So, Mr. Storm, you're the one that survives the inevitable war between machines.
That's in Skynet.
Yeah, but Rambo, in my opinion, I think is more rewatchable.
Also Meeks too. So that's like
Yep.
right now it's 4 against 1.
This is an easy one for me.
Easy,
Predator.
Easy
Yeah.
Predator.
And ladies and gentlemen, the final two. Predator versus First Blood Part 2. And as I said before, and I say again, Predator I'm going Predator.
Again, though, I'd like it to come down to John Rambo and Dutch. It does come down to that, but unfortunately, the one fought the entire Russian military, and the other guy, well, he fought the space alien that killed all of his platoon. I got to go with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator.
Are you just saying that because Jesse the Body Ventura was in it?
Well, he doesn't bleed, brother. He doesn't bleed.
I don't got time to bleed, damn it.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you ain't got time to bleed, you're on my list.
Also, my personal favorite, the late great Carl Weathers is in it. Unfortunately, in that movie, all the black guys died for some strange reason.
Well, everybody died.
Except for Schwarzenegger.
Except for him, he couldn't get Billy to the chopper, but he made it.
Yeah, this one.
Stick around.
Predator.
That's our budget's being blown to like this.
So Predator, final call.
Predator it is, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the left side of the bracket
to the chopper
is Predator. If you're liking this video and the stream, please subscribe, drop a like, a comment. We appreciate your viewership as we help grow the channel. And now on to bracket number 2, Total Recall versus a more recent one, Bullet to the Head.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted after watching that movie. So Total Recall is for me.
Total Recall.
Yeah. Okay.
Total Recall, easy movie.
Next up, Conan the Barbarian versus Demolition Man.
Demolition Man for me.
Wait a minute.
Conan.
No way.
Yeah, no, brother. No, let's put it like this. Although I do love Demolition Man because it's the Hollywood side's burning on fire. You can't be like, well, I see that before. But come on, Conan.
Come on, 3 shells and Taco Bell?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
No.
I gotta go
with Conan. What is best in life?
There you go.
Now, if this
is it has the greatest opening of any film that I think you've ever seen. And it's completely in silence, brother. Like James Earl Jones is pouful in that movie, man. Wow, it's got to be Conan.
Now, if this is Conan the Destroyer, we're talking. We might have an argument here.
No, then it's Demolition Man.
Yeah, but not the Barbarian.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Conan. I like Demolition Man.
I did,
but I got to go with Conan. Next up, the original Rocky versus Red Heat.
Well, boy, I remember that one. Whoa, I definitely come on, it's Rocky.
It's Rocky.
Come on.
Yeah,
I like Belushi, but Rocky's better.
True Lies versus Copland, like Stallone's like drama film that was critically acclaimed, and obviously True Lies, one of the classics.
I thought Copland's a very good movie, but it doesn't beat True Lies due to the action. But it's probably one of Stallone's better acting performances.
Yeah, Copland is good, but True Lies, again, James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger is like an unbeatable combination. True Lies was so good. I loved it.
Yep. Easy for me, True Lies.
Yep.
All right, next up. T2 versus Over the Top. Now, I have a feeling.
No.
Chet's going to have an argument on this one because the poster itself.
He's going to be talking to himself, though. Because
somebody rigged this.
Can we just say, look at the poster, though? Look at that poster. That's got to be in Chet's mansion somewhere.
This is rigged. There's no way. Come on, Over the Top. Somebody, you knew when you put that in the bracket, they were losing. Come on.
Yeah, he's got wings on the back of his head? Just he could fly out of that movie because
that's
T2
an eagle
wins.
behind him.
and just the preposterousness of like arm wrestling championship that he gets to, and he's a truck driver.
So I can save my son. Yeah, no.
He needed the truck, though.
Right, Meeks? There's no way. There's
Optimus
no way.
Prime in the post. To make it more epic. They were just like, how do we make this the most epic? Let's put a silver bald eagle falcon
from Over the Top. Who was the villain from Over the Top?
The arm wrestling championship was the villain.
Oh, okay, all right.
The situation was his villain.
No, I'm sorry.
His kid.
No, his ex-wife that took his kid from him. That was the villain. Okay,
that was the villain.
All right, but no, obviously it's the
Over the Top.
No, it's T2, brother. Well, 100% it's T2.
It's T2.
Right. There's a liquid Terminator, for God's sakes. It's T2.
He's got to arm wrestle with broken glass.
This one's still an easy one, but I like The Last Stand, but it's Rocky 2. Come on. It's Rocky 2. That's the greatest in line of any film that you've ever seen. It's Rocky 2. Come on.
He finally gets to win this time.
Exactly. Yes, he does. Yes.
Kindergarten Cop versus Cobra.
Now, I thought you said there weren't going to be any comedies.
Well, the
Cobra is hilarious, though.
Well, Kindergarten Cop, there was a drama and action element to it. So, in fairness, there was a bit of that. But
I don't care what anybody says and everything else like that. You know, I'm not going to go get my Toy Box Chronicle partner on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Make sure you're watching that.
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna have to go Cobra from. I can't go against them. It's like, it's Cobra. Me and you chat to the end of time, brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Cobra happens to be the better film all around. Cobra.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that. It's got to be Kindergarten Cop.
But if crime's a disease, he's a cure, Julian.
Well, he was such a cure that he didn't have to make any more movies after that, right?
The character is cool, but the movie is just
not good.
No, I'm sorry, I can't go get my Toy Box.
Boom, we got another one. We got Meeks with
there
Cobra.
That guy had an iconic knife. That was about it.
No, he didn't. He was just an everyday guy that had to find an outfit to go out on the street and put crime in its place.
My man actually was drinking on the job and still shot some people. What are you talking about?
Still nailed it.
Right into a liquor store. I think he was drinking Coors.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got rad glasses.
You don't want to go to Rotten Tomatoes.
No, you don't.
We don't need to go. We don't need to go to some fake news site. Rotten Tomatoes.
Look, the car was cool. The glasses were cool. The gun was cool.
The line.
The script was trash.
Great. It was great.
I know, Makes.
Unfortunately, overruled. Kindergarten Cop advances.
Is there no?
How is it? How did Kindergarten Cop advance when we had someone from the audience say
not part
that
of the crew? I'm sorry. Sorry,
he is part of the crew, the extended crew.
I know Meek, and we appreciate his loyalty to the channel. We respect his opinion, but
hear that, Meek? No one cares about your opinion except for Storm and I.
Except for the Toy Box Chronicle crew.
Hey, Meek just said T2 should win this all, so it might be tracking to that.
Yeah.
The Expendables versus the Sixth Day.
Oh man, this is a rough one.
I wish there was only 6 days or 5 days, so I didn't have to see the 6th day. Expendables.
Yeah, the 6th day was not good.
And we know who worked on the 6 days trailer, right? Okay.
How come every trailer that you and your company worked on just is not passing this?
There's a movie called Deep Sea Writing that he still needs to write me a check for.
And the Expendables 2 was actually better than the Expendables, but we didn't put on here as a reminder because Arnold was in Expendables 2.
Arnold was in this one as well, just in that one scene.
Yeah, but in Expendables 2, he had a pretty decent
full.
Yeah. Are we saying Expendables?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would tell you Meek said Expendables, but you informed him that his opinion didn't matter last time.
He's part of the crew. Meeks, you're part of the crew.
Yeah, you got this, Meeks.
Clint, wherever you're at, you're part of the crew. Don't worry, you're good.
Total Recall versus Conan the Barbarian.
Arnold versus Arnold. Hard one. I'm gonna still have to go with Conan.
Total Recall for me.
Yeah,
I love that movie. So cool.
I love it too, but I don't love it more than Conan the Barbarian. James Earl Jones turned into a snake, brother. A snake.
Arnold's head exploded on Mars, like his eyeballs popped out. There was a girl with 3 breasts. I mean, come on now.
I've seen that all the time. What are you talking about?
That's
also the most
LA.
glass breaking of any movie ever, I think, in that. But I think I have to go with Conan.
Oh, we gotta do tiebreaker.
Oh, you ain't gonna like this tiebreaker, brother.
I wish I had 3 hands. All right, well.
Okay, so are we doing Rotten Tomatoes then?
Yeah, I guess.
I have to.
So Rotten Tomatoes for Total Recall is 82% critics, 79% audience. 82 and 79, and Rotten Tomatoes for Conan the Barbarian, 67 critics, 74 audience. So
Total Recall wins.
Total Recall.
So it happens. Truth always prevails.
Nah, just those jackass critics, man.
Oh, this is a really tough one for me.
Well, we're talking about action wise, but if we're talking about story wise,
no, I mean we said drama action, so it could be,
I got to be honest with you. While I love True Lies, I can't go against an Oscar nominated and winning film in Rocky. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movie. Why? Or it's Stallone's best movie. I know you love True Lies, but no, I don't care if I lose this one. I got to go Rocky. But I damn straight know that the critics and the Rotten Tomatoes scores is damn straight better for Rocky.
I'll just say there's no Jamie Lee Curtis half naked pole dancing scene in Rocky, and that's an extra incentive to watching True Lies. So as much as I like Rocky, I got to go with True Lies.
I mean, how many movies when there's a nuclear bomb about to go off, it actually goes off?
Yeah,
True Lies does it.
Look, I love True Lies. I can't go against. I know the better film. I love True Lies, but I think
but if they're on the same different channels at the same time,
I'm watching Rocky every time.
No,
I'm watching Rocky every time. And look, Carl Weathers is the greatest performance I think he's ever done, man.
See, I respect Meek's opinion at this.
Well, let me tell you something. I grew up in strip clubs, man. Chick dancing on a pole don't mean nothing to me, man.
I got it in my bedroom.
True Lies. True Lies.
Well, mine's True Lies.
Yeah. True Lies wins. 3 against 1.
I know we're gonna get shit for this. You drop a comment. I'm
telling you guys are killing Sylvester Stallone. You knocked out all of his best movies, man.
Well, we'll see at the end.
Maybe you should do better movies.
He did do better movies. We're killing
it. 2 really amazing sequels.
No.
Terminator 2.
It's Terminator 2.
T2.
Yeah, it's Terminator 2.
Damn. Or Apollo. Kindergarten Cop versus the Expendables.
Easy Expendables.
Okay. Total Recall versus True Lies.
Epicness wise and everything else like that. Then I'm gonna have to go with True Lies. Better story, Total Recall, but epicness wise, True Lies. See, I know.
I don't know about this one because they are like on an.
If you're telling me
level
action movies, big time, I got to go with True Lies. But if you're
Total
talking
Recall
about story, it's
yeah,
Total Recall.
Because the thing I love about Total Recall is that every 10 minutes it is mind F and everything switches around. And it's literally like every 10 minutes he finds out something new and figures he's someone else and all this stuff.
And the worst part about these two movies, they both have like shitty sequels that someone else made. And you've got the Colin Farrell Total Recall, and you got that crappy CBS True Lies last year. So they've ruled them afterwards.
Well, True Lies did have an Apache helicopter show up,
and an F-14,
and an F-14.
Oh yeah, a Harrier.
Yeah,
I don't care. There's
you're fired.
The Quado coming out of a dude's thing. Quaid.
I mean, this one for me goes. This one for me goes to Total Recall.
You guys are acting like you've never seen that on Skid Row. What are you talking
about? This is Total Recall for me.
Same.
Okay, we'll go. Total Recall. Let's get over it.
Okay.
T2 versus the
T2.
Expendables. This is pretty straightforward. And now it's T2 versus Toast. So Arnold
versus Arnold. It's
wow.
T2.
Yep.
All right. We are now down to the final, and it's Arnold movies against Arnold films. It's Predator versus T2.
Wow.
I mean, I already have my answer, but I don't want to be so quick with it, but
woo.
This is tough.
What the hell are you? And then he plays it back. What the hell? Come on. I think T2 is awesome. But Predator again, I
know they both had good. I
think it's the best film. I think it's the most I'm going with Predator, and I know that's not the popular answer. T2 is probably the better film. Both of them are amazing, but if they're on TV, I'm watching Predator more often than T2.
I can see both movies we've seen the Vulcan machine gun used in them. So that's what we're done.
That's right.
Both had choppers. Both had out of the world kind of like villains that was involved in.
Yeah, both science fiction.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did put a cigar out on a dude.
Yeah. I will also say that both of those films introduced new, different types of technology in the films. Obviously, with Predator and the where he was able to hide, and then obviously Liquid Terminator and that CGI. So both were very mind blowing when you first saw it. So again, super comparable.
One movie had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it for 30 seconds. God. Whoa. This is gonna suck, man.
I think I have to go with Predator. It's the tighter movie. It's
I think so too. While T2 is a good film, I think it moves slow at certain moments. But they're both iconic. But I think Predator's just it just hits the beats, and you're constantly moving.
Yeah, but do you remember any of the soundtrack from Predator? Because Terminator 2, you just remember
John McTiernan, of course, yes.
It's all the same chord.
It was I think the other thing too is it was borderline horror too. It was obviously sci-fi with an alien, but the skinned bodies hanging from the tree and the gore, it was just you didn't expect that, and you're like, man, this is
the only film that killed a writer, Shane Black.
Yeah, the opening first act is a straight up Arnold action movie, just a regular action movie, and then the rest of it you find out what's really going on, and I don't know, so good. One by one, they all get taken out.
Yeah,
I think it's Predator.
All right, so Predator for me, Predator for Dr. Brantley and Mr. Storm. What do you think?
Just he's going to go T2. It's Chase.
No. One of my best friends at a job I worked at, him and I, and this is why Predator takes it for me. Although Predator I don't know. So in terms of like just sound design, Terminator 2 is by far one of the best films ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. But Predator, a friend of mine and I, our handshake when we would meet up at work was the fucking like hands up, you son of a bitch. And we did that every time. And so I mean, I'm gonna give this reluctantly to the Predator, but like I'll say this about Terminator 2. It is hard to beat the Predator because the Predator was like just such an out there idea when it came out. I think it had a bigger impact. But T2 as an all-around movie to just watch and see for the time, the visual effects keeping up with the sound design in Terminator 2, by far there has been few and far between movies that have been able to do that to date. And I think if you watch Terminator 2 in a building or a theater where the audio can be super loud, like it is a very intense movie.
I can tell you how old that movie is. There was a friend of mine that had Laserdisc, and he had the actual Dolby sound system put in his house. And I swear to God, that scene where he's like, firing the Gatling gun out that window, that was the loudest damn scene I've ever heard in all the films. Yep. You could hear the actual ricochet of the shells hit the ground. It was like, my God. But Predator 2. I'm sorry, Predator. I'm sorry, not Predator 2, Predator 1.
Well, I think it is clear. The battle of best films goes to Arnold, and the best film, according to us, is Predator. If you look at the final four, Arnold, and Stallone. Congratulations, Mr.
Don't give up your day job.
It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing.
You damn right, Stallone. You damn right.
Well, what?
Thank you, Meeks.
Thoughts? Did you think? I know there's some predictions. There was maybe Stallone, Arnold.
No,
I figured that some of those films would be there.
Well, in only Sylvester Stallone's mind does he believe he's a better action star. I knew that it was going to be some kind of Schwarzenegger film that was going to be the biggest one. But it is what it is. We've gotten to the point where unfortunately he takes it all, man. It sucks, but that's what's going down.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Schwarzenegger, but I was a little worried at the beginning because there were so many Stallone wins. But my man pulled it out.
Yeah, Chet. I'm just going to say Arnold had the bigger muscles. He had the bigger films, the bigger box office. I am not surprised that Arnold takes the crown.
Should have been Cobra.
If this was a Chet elimination bracket, it would have been Cobra versus Over the Top in the finals.
Yeah, it totally would have been. And that's a hard one. Tell me which one's better. You can't.
Cobra.
They're both
you can't.
They're both Oscar-winning films. You know what, Doug Brenly? I think you need a little timeout. So we are gonna just take care of that problem. All right, we'll put him back.
That was great. Again, the March Madness brackets will continue next week and the week after. We've been doing these elimination brackets previously. Again, check out the channel. We have Van Damme versus Seagal, and then next week, if I'm correct, we are gonna do the best Tom Cruise film of all time. Is that the one we're doing? I forget, but that's one of them for the month of March. So that'll be really fun and exciting. So
he probably does, Meeks.
I will never disclose if I have a Cobra action figure
or he has a custom one. He has a custom one.
I actually dress up.
So before we wrap up, obviously we want to thank our sponsors, and I know that we have a special look into our first and ongoing sponsor as we've grown our podcast.
Yo, this is Shadowe, and I brought in some figures that I had collected and stuff, and my man Hook me up. Look, I got these. This is a straight up tray for
some of
these
guys.
Oh, I had to throw in that. Look, TNA, some Spawn, all that. And I'm here with the man, the owner,
Tony at Toys vs. Games. And shout out to Shadowe, the podcast crew.
Yeah, man.
Come on down, get some trades.
That's
get
right.
A toy fix.
That's right. Yeah, it goes down here at Toys vs. Game. This is definitely a spot to go to and to find whatever it is that you're looking for. And the coolest part about it is, my man Tony, you can bring in action figures and you can trade up with him. Even Steven sometimes, or bring a little cash with you and then, do a good trade. But Tony hooks you up each and every time you come down, bro.
We work with you, boss. We work with you. Let's have fun collecting.
Yeah.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, there it is. That's the Shadow. This is Tony. Let's do it. Let's go.
Thanks, Tony. Yes, let's have some fun collecting. Toys versus Games, Wilmington, California. You can go to Instagram, Toys vs Games. He's open almost every day of the week, man. It's a great mom and pop store, and Shadow Crew thanks him for being our sponsor.
Awesome.
I believe we had one other big announcement.
Oh, we do. We always save the best for last, brother.
Always save the best for last.
We will have Cobra live in studio next week.
Next
Not
week,
the real
baby.
Cobra. A guy
No.
He's a janitor. He's the friend of the Wolverine plumber.
Chet's
Cobra
actually going to
janitorial
slap. Chet's going to slap a live Cobra next week, right?
Yeah, I'm going to slap him. I'm going to
hard target it.
Yeah.
No, all right. So, we've got a big announcement coming. As of April 5th, that'll be episode number 34, if I'm not mistaken. The Shadow Crew, when we first started the podcast, the name Shadow Crew was basically a joke. For years we had known Shadow, and we always were referred to as a crew, so we kind of did it as a joke. But as we started going for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the momentum started building, we thought to ourselves, then we need to legitimize the show because it had been growing. We thank everyone out there for watching and growing the channel. And so we decided to come up with a more branded name. So, Mr. Chris, do you want to give out that name that will be changing the show to?
Yeah, I think collective collaboration, the things we love the most and what we talk about on this show is films and television and gaming. We talk about action figures and toys, and we talk about comic books and art. And so I think it only made sense for us to come up with this name, which is Pixels Plastic Inc. Podcast. So Pixels Plastic and PPI, not to be confused with other PPIs like personal protection, whatever, PPI,
Magnum PPI.
But we're excited to relaunch, and I think some really great things in the future, other than new logo, some merchandising and things of that nature. It'll be the same crew, the same content, but
same
we're
time,
growing the channel,
same
time. Yeah,
nothing changes other than the name, and we're gonna take the next now 3 weeks after this to roll it out slowly, because we know there's a lot of people that are watching the show. We don't want them to actually get lost in the point, so we're going to take the entire month, and so every week you'll hear us tell you that, hey, the name changed, and then when you go over to the other podcast platforms, you will see that there's a change. If you're on the the podcast networks where you just listen to or downloads and everything, it will also go across the board to the other streaming networks that we're on. So it'll be a smooth transition, but it's going to take about 4 weeks for us to do this.
Yep. Pretty exciting. I'm excited about it, actually.
Mine too.
Yeah. And the last thing that we want to say is again, we are producing a heck of a lot more content. There's a lot of views. All it takes is a quick like, a quick subscribe to help us grow the channel, but some new content. Again, Toy Box Chronicles featuring Mr. Storm and Mr. Chet Maddox on a weekly basis, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So same time as Fridays, but on Wednesday, a really cool episodes. Last episode, some cool unboxings, some stuff around toys, to talking about the classics and other stuff on the channel. Look for this Monday on our channel, the Toys R Us. Look into Toys R Us, the retro review Club. Chet, myself, Dr. Brantley, with years of experience behind the scenes at Toys R Us and Mr. Storm, spent over an hour talking about Toys R Us classics, behind the scenes, insight, our favorite toys, memories. So look for that airing this Monday on the channel.
Yeah, it'll be set to premiere, and I would be remiss if I didn't set up this coming Wednesday's Toy Box Chronicle show. Mr. Storm stormed into the retro shop in Temecula because they happen to have a boatload of mask figures in box. They had this one looked like they just took it out of the box, a Rhino figure. He had the Rhino. Mr. Storm was in there. He was on the phone with me. I was losing my, whatever. And I ended up with Rhino. And if you want to spoil the other one,
we'll spoil the other one. We'll say Outlaw.
Yeah,
and almost mid condition, man. Almost mid condition.
You did get to touch them and see them. You're the only person I trust with my mask figure purchasing, and that was actually a sponsored purchase for the channel so that we can review it. So shout out to Miss Patricia Atkins, who did the sponsorship for that. For the channel, so that hopefully we will get it in time for the show on Wednesday. If not, I will be showing it on our Friday podcast. But we do want to show that.
Also, you can write it off on your taxes.
Yes, we can. Correct. Also, the same way we had some inserts tonight from Toys versus Games, we will have an insert from the retro store in Temecula, California, where we shot, because you'll see me actually negotiating this deal for Mr. Maddox. And it's a very exciting, great shop to be in. A lot of great vintage stuff. Hit us up on Wednesdays. We're gonna definitely love the episode.
I'm excited with all the stuff we're putting out. We didn't talk about the next retro rewind club episode is the 90s. So if you love the 90s, you're gonna love that show. I think we're done like pimping ourselves out for the night.
I think so. Well, there's always one more we could do. We could find some. No.
Yeah. Again, we've made subscriptions free through the end of the year. I'm covering the cost on all that. Chris is covering the cost on all the likes. So try to make us go bankrupt, basically, is that. So if you haven't already, stay sexy, subscribe, and we will see you guys and girls and children of all ages next week.
Congrats, Arnold. Congrats, Arnold.
The